Well, it's the end of another year, and this one was pretty slow for gaming. 2024 is kind of this weird year that's sandwiched in between two big years for gaming. Last year was amazing, and next year has hit after hit coming out. As far as the games that came out this year, they were alright. Wukong was good enough, Echoes of Wisdom was the best top-down Zelda I've played, and EA figured out they can sell Madden twice a year and make double the profit. Really, this year is for catching up on the decades of games I've missed out on. I played a lot of games from last year, a lot of Souls games, a lot of DLCs, a lot of long games, a lot of short games, and a lot of classics, many of which are a testament of their time. Take that how you like. Last year I played about 25, 30 games. This year I played 75 games. I didn't even play that many in the last couple months of the year. I took a big ass break. I will never be doing something like this again. But that does mean that this will be the most prestigious game of the year list of all time. These are the top 15 of the 75. And keep in mind, I try to use my time playing games that are highly recommended and rated. So these are the best of the best. Here we go. Starting off, we have Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye, the DLC for one of the greatest games ever made. That's how you know I'm not fucking around. Echoes of the Eye does an incredible job of giving you that same wonder and puzzle solving that the base game does, while also introducing new elements like horror, which the game already did have, but it's implemented in a different way here. The DLC is so cool and weird. I've never experienced anything like it before, and I adore it. The whole production feels so alien, from the music to the world design. I love when DLCs can bring back the same feeling of an original game that other studios can't replicate with a new flavor. If you've played Outer Wilds, do not skip out on this expansion. Doom 2016, baby. While playing at the start, I didn't think I'd add this because Eternal is so much better in my opinion, but once I got used to the changes, it was fun to blast through demons and new stages. I was going through a hard time while playing this, so it was nice to sit down for a bit while blasting Linkin Park and feel like a badass. Undertale is a game I've heard a lot about ever since I got into gaming. Even before that, it really is a cultural phenomenon, so my expectations were pretty high going into it, and it did not disappoint. It's a short game, but it's packed with so much heart. The characters are funny and charming, the combat is fun, and it tells an interesting story in its short runtime. And the music, oh my god, the soundtrack to this game is incredible. So many memorable tracks that'll get stuck in your head after playing, and it really pairs well with the rest of the game. Undertale makes you feel so many things: desolation, despair, hilarity, but most of all, hope. If you are a gamer, this is a classic you cannot skip out on. Animal Well. I love this game. This is in a very similar group to Breath of the Wild and Outer Wilds, where I've never really played anything like it. You can't categorize it in different genres because it's nothing like anything. I love when a game can just be different and have its own voice. I'm so tired of these games I feel like I've played over and over again with no soul. Animal Well has so much identity that's exactly for me because it's so strange. There's these weird looking animals that make weird sounds, there's non-conventional power-ups that have so many cool creative uses, and the whole game is just beautiful. The design and music pair up to make this such a funky, calming experience. Play Animal Well now. Another testament to how good the games in this list are, not even breaking the top 10, we have Bloodborne. I didn't have super high expectations going into this one because I'm not a huge fan of typical FromSoft combat, but I loved the change in pace. It's so quick and visceral. This has some of the best boss fights in FromSoft history, not even including the DLC, which is some of FromSoft's best work and is also in number 11. Ludwig and Orphan of Kos are boss fights that will go down as some of the most fun and excited I've ever been during a fight in gaming. The combat is so good, and the game looks incredible. It commits to this European Gothic setting and you're just brought in. What a game. In at number 10, we have another amazing game you have to play, Disco Elysium. At first I didn't really understand it, but if you let this game take you where it wants you to go, you will not regret it. The gameplay is walking and talking, yet it's so gripping. The murder mystery makes for such a good motivation, and it's so fun going around town meeting and unraveling what's happening and what happened here. When playing, you feel like you're a part of this world. Whenever I hear a track or see a clip of the game, I'm brought back into when I first played it, a time I wish I could experience all over again. From the wacky level characters, to the ethereal music, to the thought-provoking storyline, Disco Elysium is a true work of art. And now we're switching gears here to a fun family game, Ultimate Chicken Horse. In this game, you and your friends have to build an obstacle course easy enough to get across, but hard enough so that only you can. And it is a recipe for disaster in the best way possible. Every time my friends and I played a game, it ended us dying of laughter. It's the perfect weird game to try out, and a perfect way to have a lot of fun. It's time to see if this shit's possible. Who put the honey right there?
Oh my gosh!
He just got straight up fucked. Bro, I try to not step on the honey because I put it there.
Neon White is such a smooth game. I love these types of games where it's simple, but you can get so fancy. There's tons of different short stages, and in each you're trying to take out all the demons and get to the end as fast as possible. There's so many skips and creative ways to beat levels that makes for a blast. Look at this one level. I did this, then I do this, then boom, ooh, and I wasn't even getting crazy with it. This game was fucking snubbed from Indie Game of the Year in 2022. Every time Santa Monica Studios puts a game out, everyone shuts the fuck up for a while to witness the masterpiece they produced, and it's no different when they release a DLC. God of War Ragnarok Valhalla is just as good as the last two God of War games. When they first announced that it was a roguelike, I wasn't too sure about it, but mixing the satisfying combat, intuitive leveling system, and engaging story, and you've got a fantastic time on your hands. For most roguelikes, there's not a ton of motive for doing the same stages over and over again. After a while, they lose their luster for me. But Valhalla motivates you by giving you this incredible story with twists and turns. You want to jump back into your next run as quickly as possible to see what happens next, and it never disappoints. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Where do I even begin? Just like the base game, you walk out of the cave and you're just floored by the landscape ahead of you. The world design in this DLC is the main attraction. It's so layered. You'll think you've seen everything you can, but then you'll go into this cave and realize you missed out on a huge other whole area. This is Elden Ring 2. With the Dragon Mountain, this blue area, the Sky Kingdom, and Scary Forest, so many banger locations, and the bosses are amazing for the most part. A lot of fucking sucks, I'm not sure what the fuck this was about, but there were so many great additions to FromSoft's boss fight catalog. Mesmer is my favorite. He's so menacing and merciless. He just pummels you into the fucking ground. He was so fun. Divine Dancing Lion is a great boss, but the soundtrack is the main attraction. I'll go back to fight him just to hear the music. And Bale is insane. His second stage where he gets wings and starts shooting lasers at you is awesome. Shadow of the Erdtree pulls no punches and deserves every Game of the Year nomination it got. And in the top 5 is Minecraft. This was the game of my childhood, and it's already the game of my adulthood too. What can I say about it that hasn't already been said? It's made so many memories for me with all my friends I've made throughout the years. It's the pinnacle of a perfect game. You can do whatever you want. It's a game for everyone. So many structures I've built and loot I've lost in lava and endless caves. And I would say I hope the movie doesn't suck dick, but there's no way it won't. Astro Bot is the best game that's come out in 2024. It's so cheery. Every second of this game I was having fun. I loved filling my island up with all the PlayStation characters and the levels. The power-ups they give you were so unique and cool. Every level has a different style and theme, and there are so many levels. My favorites were the God of War and Uncharted levels though. You could really tell the developers loved these franchises, and I felt so excited going through and seeing all the little references they put in. I beat and platinum this game in a heartbeat, and I hope they keep making these games until the end of time. When I played Cyberpunk 2077 last year, I'll admit, I was a little disappointed. The visuals and world design are like nothing else out right now, but the combat and story never really grabbed me. So when I started playing Phantom Liberty, I didn't have too high of expectations, and I was completely blown away. It's really the more condensed and focused story which pulls me in. The new characters are so interesting, and since I'm already invested in V, I immediately care and understand the stakes. They give you choices here that have weight to them, so many twists and turns in the story that will keep you on your toes. I was fully in this DLC from beginning to end, and I loved every minute. There are not enough video games with stories as good as this one, and I know I mentioned it before, but holy shit, that world design. This game looks better than real life. You'll just be walking down a street and suddenly realize that you are witnessing the peak of graphics. CD Projekt Red continues proving that they are the masters of making a DLC. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is the last FromSoft game in this list, I swear. I just played every game of theirs this year, and they've got some bangers. And out of all of them, this one is the best. In most FromSoft games, I don't like one boss, sometimes one or two. But in this game, I love almost all of them. and that's because the combat is so good. The parrying system is infinitely more reliable than the slow-ass roll. It makes every fight so tangible so that when you finally get it down, it feels less like luck and more that you're a straight badass. The fighting is so good. That fight with Genichiro is so merciless, he makes you perfect his moveset. I could go back and fight him right now and I'd remember his attacks. Sword Saint Ishin is the perfect tough but fair boss fight, and True Monk is so satisfying. I love parrying each one of his spear swings, it makes me feel unstoppable. And the world design is so beautiful. They have to go back to Japanese culture again because they do it so well. So many gorgeous locations. Sekiro is front to back a masterpiece, and I beat it twice this year. It is that goddamn good. And at number 1, the game of the year is The Witcher: Blood and Wine. While I did play The Witcher 3 this year and loved it, the story, locations, and world was incredible, and it partially shares this number 1 spot, I was absolutely floored by the DLC. It was everything I wanted a medieval RPG to be. The location is so beautiful and vibrant. Toussaint is the perfect fantasy kingdom. It's something out of a fairy tale. And just like Phantom Liberty, it benefits so much from being a smaller, more focused story. Every mission feeds into the next, all to uncover a vampire murder mystery. I was on the edge of my seat going through this story that you never thought would work in a setting like The Witcher. The whole DLC is a blast, and right when I thought it couldn't get any better, you get sucked into an actual fairy tale. And this part is just awesome. Going around this fucked up fantasy land killing Rapunzel and the 3 pigs, and the ending is so uplifting. If you played The Witcher 3 and don't want to go through it again, just give Blood and Wine a shot because it's perfect. Thanks for watching my Game of the Year video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next year.